Hey everyone, Rob from Southgate Media Group here. Before we get started with this podcast, we have a quick message. If this is your first time checking out the show, we love that you found us and we really hope you enjoy it. What we have to say is for the subscribers. If you enjoy our shows, would you please donate to help keep these going? We don't want to have to put traditional ads on these shows, but this does cost money. So we really do rely heavily on donations. To make a donation to the show, please go to our website, www.southgatemediagroup.com. Go to the page for the show, and in the upper right-hand corner is a donate button. It takes you right to PayPal, and you can donate whatever amount you want. Thanks a lot for listening, everybody. And now, on with the show.
Maybe you're not the worst thing ever.
Welcome to Maybe It's Not the Worst Podcast Ever, episode 3 and 4. I am your host, Molly Southgate, and with me is...
Martha Southgate.
And...
Olivia Richards.
And...
Bringing up the rear, Rob Southgate.
You're a rear? Yeah.
No, you're more kick to the curb.
Oh!
Bring up the rear, kick to the curb.
Yep.
That is what's
It's so
going
painful.
on.
All right.
So the episodes that we're going to talk about are Completely Mad Alena and Dungeons and Dragons Lady.
Yes.
I wonder why
awesome.
the one's called Dungeons and Dragons Lady.
It's actually Dungeons and Dragon Lady.
Oh, whatever.
Licensing.
Dungeon and Dragon Lady.
So, all right. So this is the third week, basically. I thought this was a fantastic week. I mean, they've all been good, but this,
I love this episode.
This did deliver on the songs. I was laughing out loud
Yes.
at more than one
Absolutely.
song.
I like the songs a lot.
And I think Ricky Gervais's cameo was just
Yes.
Xanax.
Xanax.
That was so funny.
I can't really call myself a doctor anymore because of that thing.
No, not
but
a doctor, but a magician.
a magician because of that thing. Yeah, that was really
and he
funny.
didn't tell him what it was.
That whole thing with the with the king afterwards, where he's like, "I'm
The
getting the munchies."
Oh, yeah.
Xanax, and Gareth says Xanax.
Yeah,
And the chef says so much.
so much. And the chef rocketed to the top character.
Yeah.
That song was
Oh my God.
so
Awesome.
great.
Oh my gosh. Okay, when they're singing we'll have a dozen children and maybe one will live. Oh my
Oh,
god.
that's hysterical.
Oh my God.
We'll share trench mouth. We'll share
Lice.
lice.
We'll
French
compare our
fries
sores,
and
our
I forgot-
open sores.
It's a good thing that life expectancy is only 32. I'll spend the rest of what's left with you. Oh,
Oh,
my gosh.
that was
That's
just
hysterical.
amazing writing, and the
How
whole thing was
did they-
great.
And then they come out of this big old rundown barn and they're like, we'll live in something built for two.
A hovel.
A hovel built for two. We'll share the same cat will share the same chamber pot.
hmm
Gross. Mom and I do that. Did you know that?
We don't have chamber pots.
No. Well, that you know of. We keep one in our bedroom. Shh, don't tell.
What?
It's a secret.
Oh.
He keeps one in his under the bed area.
Yeah, that certain smell. That's love, Molly.
Yeah, that was my second favorite
Oh, I
song.
love
Oh, it was
that.
great. And it had that ending where he's like, really? These doors have been open this whole time? Nobody
Yeah.
thought to check?
Oh my God. That
And
moment.
then the
was
jester
so good.
opens up the doors like, oh yeah.
You know what's funny? At the beginning of the song, when they walked out, I thought that I didn't think, oh, they left it open. I thought, oh, it's a musical. That they always do that in musicals. Like they walk out of the gates and then they'd walk back and close them shut. But instead here they turned it on its ear. They were actually open. I thought that was hysterical.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, definitely. And when the one song, the "I Love You" song, and that he's singing, that Gallivant is singing with Madalena,
Oh, that was hysterical.
Yes.
Rob was like, "Oh my gosh, it's the codependency song,"
Oh my God.
because she kept going, "Yeah, I love you as much as someone like me can love you," and he's like, "Okay, so that means you love me,
Oh,
right?"
that means you
Yeah.
love me. Yeah. And then when he was down in the dungeon, he was still
Can love
doing it. And
anyone.
Sid's like, really? Like,
Right?
she put you in a dungeon, you're still debating this?
Right.
Yeah, there was so much in this. So, okay, Olivia, favorite part in this 2 episodes. What would you say it is?
Oh my gosh, there was so much to choose from. Well, first and foremost, in case anyone was not aware, the Gallivant soundtrack is now on iTunes.
Oh, it is.
Yay!
All
Yes,
right.
everyone can now buy all the songs, and definitely Madalena's song is probably my new "Get Ready in the Morning" jam
Uh-huh.
I have going.
Okay. Wait, the one where she's got all the mirrors?
Oh my god, that was so great, and I
It was.
love how self-aware these two episodes were. Like you said before, when they left the doors open,
Yeah.
you were waiting for that to just like go by like completely unnoticed, and like Madalena's ridiculous dance that she does with Gallivant, and he's just like, "When did you learn to dance?"
Yes.
Right. Right. Oh, well, the other one that was the self-aware moment that I loved was when they were talking about when they were going to attack, and she goes, "Wouldn't Wednesday be better?" He goes, "Yeah, they're going to write songs about this." And
And you can't
Wednesday's pretty
rhyme.
hard to rhyme with.
yeah,
You can't rhyme with Wednesday. Yeah, it's
yeah,
too
that was
Uh,
excellent.
Yeah, know what my favorite part was?
No,
I
Yes!
loved almost all the chef stuff.
the
That was
chef.
so funny.
Yeah,
I really loved the part where he's like, where the queen's like, you sleep in the kitchen. He's like, or I cook in my bedroom.
that was so funny.
Mhm.
How about you, Martha?
Um,
I know it's hard to do because there
Oh,
were really so many things.
Xanax.
Xanax was funny. I don't know what my favorite part. Oh, okay, wait. I have the king, of course.
Of course.
Uh-huh.
And when he is
Oh,
wait, no,
Let her-
you can't talk
You
over
let
me.
her talk.
okay.
When he comes down the stairs and Gallivant is talking to Isabella, and Gallivant says, "Where do you think they're keeping your parents?"
Uh-huh.
And the king look, is it perhaps up your butt? And
Yeah,
then
right.
it
You
ruined
wrote this.
it ruined his next line, because he was
Uh-huh.
like trying to do his deep voice thing. He goes,
Well,
I ruined it by
well.
having to say the butt joke, But then when Gareth is standing there with him and he says, "Gareth, we agreed I would get to say the cool things."
Because Gareth said, I haven't killed anybody all week.
Yeah.
And he's like, Gareth, we agreed that I would get to say the cool things.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
so
love
good.
Gareth is like, and then Gareth said another thing like that.
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
and he's like, Gareth.
yeah.
Gareth just can't help it. He has to say
That's
the
because he's Vinnie Jones. Because he's a juggernaut.
But
Yeah, I got a laugh from
love
Olivia.
anything with the king. He makes me laugh so hard. So
Yeah, for me, it was the cook. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
as
Me
much
too.
as, and a close second is Xanax, because
Yeah.
Xanax was amazingly funny to me.
Mhm.
But the
Why
cook,
did
that
you want
whole
to see
thing,
the king's bedroom?
right?
That
You
was
know
where
what?
he made a face like,
You
yeah,
know
he
what?
looked at the audience.
Yeah, I'm sure he was probably done with dealing with the king at that point.
I also love that they threw that like little like The Office moment. 'Cause
Yes.
it's like
Totally.
Gervais's involvement with the show.
Well,
Absolutely.
and that was the other thing. The now that I'm thinking about favorite moments, just the whole thing of seeing little Dicky and
Yeah.
Kingsley was
And little Gareth.
yeah, and little Gareth. Well, and it's
Yeah.
funny the names. I mean, this was layered really well. When he said his name is Kingsley, and she's like, "We named you that. It wasn't just trendy because Kingsley." What did they name him? Dicky.
Right.
It's like that's so funny.
uh-huh.
And he's like
And-
this little chubby kid. Oh my god.
Oh, because he
Yeah.
goes, "I eat my feelings," or they all kind of gasped when they saw him, and he goes, "I ate my
Feelings.
feelings and a lot of bread."
Uh-huh.
Yeah, actually, now that I think back, I'm going to go with one other moment.
What?
The last moment. Rutger Hauer is
Oh,
playing
heck
Kingsley.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. No, Olivia, I don't know. You're a little younger than us. I don't know if you're
A
a
little.
Rutger Hauer. Yeah, okay. So like half our age.
Rutger Hauer.
But Rutger Hauer to us is a big score to have him show up.
He's like a cult hero.
Yes.
No, he was in all the movies that no one watched when we were.
Oh,
Hmm?
he's so great. And he was the Hitcher. He was the original Hitcher. And he's just
Oh, okay.
oh, he's so fantastic. And the fact that it was him, like, I'm surprised he hasn't shown up in Tarantino movies because he is absolutely that guy that would be in a Tarantino movie.
Mm-hmm.
He does have that like kind of like menacing,
Yes.
just that very kind of
And that old school
terrifying
kind
Yeah.
of B movie action guy, that's what he was. And to see him as Kingsley, I cannot wait for the next 2 episodes.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Wait, are those the last episodes?
The
Yep.
next 2 will.
I thought there was 8.
Right. This was 5 and 6.
In the intro, we said 3 and 4.
I
Mom did.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
She's going to make me edit that out.
I didn't say 3 or 4. You did.
All right, so this was 5 and 6.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So,
Can we blame Olivia? She's not in the house.
Yes, I
Yes.
will take the blame.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Olivia.
I'm
on that
pretty
one.
sure.
Mom, you're the one who did it. You know it.
Oh,
You
we
know
haven't
it.
recorded Molly Grace. We're going to out you big after this is over. We're going to play it back for you.
There you go.
Okay.
Busted.
Busted.
What
So,
do you mean by play it back?
It's called a podcast. Maybe
yeah.
you've heard of
maybe you didn't know
Oh,
people
yeah.
listen to this, but
Oh.
all 3 of them that listen to this hear you say,
Molly, you listen to podcasts all the time.
Okay.
Oh,
I didn't know that it was called playing back.
what?
She said playing back.
All right.
kind of an old, it's an old term, I suppose.
You know where we learned it? From Rutger Hauer.
Yes. Rewind.
Yeah. So, you know what we haven't brought up, which I'm actually very surprised by?
The
Weird Al Yankovic.
I thought
Yes!
going into it that
Hey,
that was
we're
going to
the
be the highlight
Mugs.
because the previews all highlighted it was Weird Al. The song looked like it was going to be great, and it was good, and I enjoyed seeing him. But I think it was kind of overshadowed
wasn't the
by all this other
highlight.
stuff.
He was definitely not the highlight for me. Even though I was really looking forward to seeing how they were going to use him, I didn't
weird
think
Al.
that they used him to his full potential.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Hey, we're the monks.
And I actually, it's
They
funny
didn't
because
say that.
in the
Yeah,
previews,
they did.
I
I
actually
memorized this.
didn't think that Ricky Gervais was going to be as funny. I thought, oh, he's kind of doing the Ricky Gervais thing. I always enjoy him, but I thought it was going to be flipped. I thought Weird Al was going to be the big standout and Ricky Gervais was going to be a good portion, but it was reversed.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
I did, on the second viewing, I enjoyed the Weird Al bit more.
I did too.
I just don't think that they did enough with him. I think that he could have really blown out the song.
Yeah.
And the scene when he's talking to Isabella, I thought he had funny lines. I just didn't
That
think
was
they
the
gave
scene
him
he's
enough
like, quick.
dialogue.
Where he's like, I need to make this quick. I have to go to. I won't make the big finish.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Because they were singing the monks thing again. That was really clever. They took a vow of singing. That was
Mhm.
really
Yeah.
funny. And then
And Gallivant's like, oh, no way. Like, oh, this is my worst nightmare.
Uh-huh.
break the vow or I break your finger.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. No, your pipe.
Yeah, your pipe. Yeah.
No. Okay. I wasn't literal.
And when they had to go there, the only reason they were at the monastery was because Gallivant smelled so bad that they had to find him somewhere to bathe.
That was
Yeah, and like he was like, I do not smell. Lifted up his arm like to start writing. Oh, yep.
yeah,
And
that
then
was
he
really
closed
funny
his
too.
Arms together, like yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Now you know who didn't have a lot to do in this? Surprisingly, was Sid. Sid only had
Yeah.
a couple of
Yeah.
lines. Because he's really stood out this whole time, and I think they just kind of they had to put somebody to the background, and unfortunately Sid got the shaft this time.
Oh, y'all
Mhm.
know it's hysterical.
I have no idea.
When Sid was singing with him and not Madalena. So
Isabella?
Many names.
Isabella.
Isabella's like, Galvant, do you know what's happening? And he's like, yes, our Sid sings like an angel.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I'm the bad boy, but not really bad because I'm a monk.
Yeah. That was the other
We're
thing. On the
monks.
second viewing, I caught what the monks said more and found them funnier. Like the one, I'm the pretty one, I'm the bad boy. I thought that was pretty
I'm
funny.
the bad boy, but not so bad because
You know what?
I'm a monk.
I do think that's where the problem is. I think that, like you were talking about the soundtrack, that one is not as strong a song.
Mhm.
No.
That's my favorite.
If it was a stronger song, maybe they should have let Weird Al write the song
yeah.
or work
would've
with
been
him on
great.
it. I think it would have been a much better, stronger piece because
Uh-huh.
we know how funny he can be.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And him in this world could have really been something else. So
Mhm.
here's what I'm saying. I'm looking forward to next season, if they do a second season, bring back Weird Al and really let him do his thing.
The one will be with
I think that would be funny.
Dickie and
Dickie and Kingsley.
Gareth.
Oh man, Dickie and Kingsley. That's so funny.
The other thing that I
Who was
loved
to
that
name
was
Kingsley?
throughout both episodes was when they were using the really flowery, poetic language,
Uh-huh.
on and on and on, and then the person would just look at him and go, "You mean 9 o'clock?"
Oh, that was
Yeah.
great.
So it's like 9 o'clock.
They did it 3 times that I counted, but I
Well-
just thought that was so funny. And every single one of them, you mean around 9 o'clock? Oh, so around 9 o'clock then, you know?
Well, that and the inventions were funny
Yes,
too.
the
Sid with the
zipper.
zipper, and they're like, "That's just never going to work." He's like, "No, I
Yeah.
really think I'm onto
Like,
something
you're
here."
just embarrassing yourself now.
And then Gareth comes up with the whole thing for time, and the king's like, "You sound like a witch." That's no.
And it's a clock.
Yeah,
Right.
Oh my god.
yeah,
So
that was killing me
the
tonight.
show is just so incredibly clever, and it's so well written and so well acted. You know, it just it really cracks me up. Now this couple of episodes after we watched it first, the first time, Molly was not in love,
I did
and
not
and
like
sh-
it.
and she said, you know, if I had seen this first, I wouldn't have watched the other episodes.
If this was if all the episodes were like this, nope, I would not like it.
That was on first viewing, but what
But-
about second viewing?
I loved
Now-
it.
Yeah,
Yes. So
Like there were certain parts I liked in the first one.
but
And
it's just
of these.
interesting how if sometimes like with a show like this, you really benefit from watching it more than once.
Yeah, absolutely.
We had a conversation about similar to this last night. I do the Enough Said podcast, and we had a roundtable about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Carter and all the Marvel stuff. And on the last episode of Agent Carter, those of us that do that show weren't in love with it. We didn't dislike it. We just were kind of nonplussed in a lot of ways. And one of the guys got on and he said, "Watch it a second time." He said, "I watched it the second time," and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I loved it."
Mm.
And it is interesting because the Marvel stuff really does do that. It's perfect with subsequent viewings. The more you watch it, the more things you find, and the more you kind of fall in love with what's going on. And I said to Martha, watching this tonight, same thing. Like, I was so invested in it the second time. I enjoyed it the first time watching it. I thought it was funny and everything. This time, I was all in, and I actually feel like I could go back and watch the first episode, watch right through again,
Yes, absolutely.
and probably enjoy it as much or more.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
I
That's a
love
sign of great
I
writing.
love seeing it this season.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
fantastic.
And I think that's a great thing. It's just the humor is so subtle because like there's things that I've missed and I like rewatch it a second time and I was like that went completely over my head and then
Yeah.
like when I was rewatching I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I can't believe I missed that.
Definitely.
I think I'm listening to King Richard so hard because his lines are so
Yes.
fantastic
Uh-huh.
that I am missing other things going on.
hmm
I mean, what have we done all week? We can't stop saying
King
What?
Richard.
King
What
Richard.
Molly,
What the hell, man?
What the hell, man? We can't stop saying
they
that.
do it about 100 times a day. I hear, what the hell, man?
And I
the
claim
hell,
I have
man?
the best impression.
All right, go ahead.
Do
What
it.
the hell, man?
That is a good impression.
Good.
But yeah,
Very good.
it's just such a quotable show. It's so we cannot wait to own the music because it is so funny and you know, but this is going to be a classic in our house. This is going
Yeah.
to end up being
Uh.
something that you know, we have watched certain things, we've podcasted certain things where we think, "Oh, that was really fun and that was great." And then, you know, over time you just go, okay, it's over. Yeah, not really thinking about it, not really wanting to watch it again. This is one that's like I don't know.
Yeah, I
just
could
think
watch
it's
this again.
Yeah,
brilliant.
like 10 years from now, I'll be like, okay, can we watch Gallivant today?
Yes. And it's
yeah.
Yeah, and it's the kind of thing you want to show people. Like, you know, it's the kind of thing that when we have people over or whatever, we love to show them things that they haven't seen or and this particular show seems to have passed a lot of people by.
Yeah, I
no
can't
one's
believe nobody's watching it.
no
and-
one's watching it. No, they're not
that we
hearing
know.
about it. Most of them haven't even heard of it. And I go,
Uh-huh.
oh, it is so brilliant. So this
Uh-huh.
is the kind of thing that we would
One
go, okay, just
pers-
sit and watch an episode. Just
Uh-huh.
you know, watch with us. And it's the sort of thing that we would not get tired of if we were
Yeah.
showing people. And
Right, right.
Yeah.
Okay, guess what?
I can't even
but,
guess.
You wanna know what was crazy?
Yeah,
I know somebody who watched it and didn't like it.
What?
Dun, dun, dun.
there they.
Off with their heads.
Did they
I
say
think
why?
the number one thing with that is like
No.
people who don't like musicals are the ones who tend to be like, oh, I would like this show if it was not a musical. And I was like, but that's the funniest part of the show is that
Yes.
like,
Well, that's me. I was not really I was like, yeah, it looks okay, but it was a musical. It wasn't really grabbing me, and this has fully grabbed me. It's great. It's
You're
It's
like
hysterical.
Rainbow Dash,
funny
where
and
she
the
doesn't
great
like-
writing, and
You're like Rainbow Dash in My Little Pony, where she doesn't.
I am like Rainbow Dash and My Little
where
Pony.
she doesn't like it when people like musicals.
Now you know my secret identity. I am Rainbow Dash.
Weird.
So,
Very, very weird.
so Olivia, you with your writing in that. First of all, how is it? How are people rating it on show ratings? Are they giving it as high marks as we are?
It's kind of mixed because again, Kyle and I did the podcast for this, and he was one of the people who wasn't a huge fan. I think he enjoyed the writing aspect, but it's been that kind of split of people who love musicals, love the show. People who don't really enjoy musicals are like, okay, I like the writing and I laughed a few times, but it's not for me.
Okay.
Uh,
So are they rating it lower? I mean, are they like the? Here's what I'm getting at. Let's say it's on a scale of 0 to 10. To us, this is a 9. I mean, this is great, right?
a 9? What would not be the 10 part?
A 10 would be X-Files.
Certain episodes, not certain seasons.
Uh-oh, we're going to get into specifics here.
A
There is the
Dad-
one episode where Mulder and Scully and so okay. So if you're on that type of scale and we're loving it, we're putting it at a 9, let's say, and the people that don't like it are putting it at a 4, are you seeing that it's leveling out at around a 6 or 7, or is it skewing higher, but you think it would be higher more if people were into musicals?
I'm kind of seeing it leveling out to about a 6 or 7, coming from people who, again, like me, are giving it like a 9 or a 10 because
Yeah.
I'm a musical fanatic versus someone who would see it and not enjoy musicals and just kind of like they want to see it, but they just don't want to be in for the singing. And it would probably be about like a 3 or a 4.
Mhm.
So it really is affecting it. So once again, when you start looking at things like that, it's like it's probably this is a case where it's probably skewed because it is such a split. It is so polarizing. I don't like musicals. I'm going to put it really low, even though it's better than a 3 or 4, even if you don't like musicals.
Exactly.
And I think it's perfect for people who don't like musicals because it's making fun of musicals.
It is.
Right?
It is. But you know what? I can see that. I mean,
Yeah.
if the barrier of entry is there where they're going, you know what? I can't get past that. It's going to make them
it's
rate it lower.
annoying or something.
Yeah.
So what about viewership? Does anyone know? I haven't looked at ratings or anything. I never look at that stuff. Is it getting good ratings? Do we think it's going to go into a second season?
I haven't been checking the ratings, but I mean, they were mentioning that the people who do love the show like really, really, really want to see the second season, and we had talked about it before, where they wanted to explore more of King Richard's past,
Oh
and now
yeah.
he has, like him as a kid, and we're kind of wrapping the season. Yeah, I'm really hoping that there's a possibility because the show is too good to just
Mhm.
have
I
it
agree.
end.
I agree.
I think this show is prime if it doesn't get picked up for a second season. Since Disney has a deal with Netflix, this is a show that Netflix could go, we're going to do a series of Gallivant. We're going to do a single shot, 4 episode, 8 episode, whatever it is, of Gallivant.
Mhm.
They would do
79
so
episodes, please.
well with it.
Mhm.
Because if this was a binge watch show, this would crush.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I mean, we would binge watch the whole thing in one night, no question.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the episodes move really quickly. It's the
Uh-huh. Oh,
yeah,
pacing is so
definitely.
good, and it's to me it's just so hysterically funny.
Now
And it's smart. I think that's the
Yes.
good thing about it is that it knows exactly what it wants to be and it's doing it.
Yeah.
yeah, and it's not coming off. A lot of times these things that are kind of parody are not good. They're just
Mhm.
not funny. Like they think they're funnier than they are. This is very self-aware and it is
Yeah.
very funny. It's written by, real pros. And
Yes.
and the music is just fantastic. I mean, it's the whole package.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep. And they didn't skimp on the acting, they didn't skimp on the costumes, they didn't skimp on the setting or the writing. I mean, it is just brilliant. It's
No,
all
exactly.
brilliant. Love. All right, let me look at my notes. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I wanna make sure we're not forgetting anything. Oh, yeah, we did sort of touch on the tummy cramps, or
The
was that
tummy
maybe that was
cramps.
before we were recording, but when
Your words.
when
I love that when she
Madalena-
said your words.
yeah, Madalena says to the king, wow, what's different about you? Normally when I yell at you, you get tummy cramps and have to go poopy.
Your words.
Yeah. And oh my gosh, when the parents' heads are in the table.
Oh, yeah.
Dying.
Oh my gosh. And then he goes, "Oh, your face was priceless." And I'm thinking, "Oh my gosh, you psychopath."
Yeah, that was
Uh-huh.
really funny.
Like he convinced the parents into doing that,
Yeah.
pretending their heads were cut off.
Oh
Oh,
my
and I love how they just went with it. They're like, look, we've been prisoners like forever.
Right.
clearly we have issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to make clear decisions here. So,
Oh my gosh, I thought that was so funny. Um and then when Sydney didn't leave his clothes on under his monk robe and
Oh,
he's
yeah.
like, "Oh,
oh,
This thing is really itching my junk.
yeah. Yep. That was great. He's like, "Oh, wait.
Oh,
Yeah, you guys are wearing something underneath it, aren't you?" Yeah.
oh,
Uh-huh.
that was funny." And
Yeah, there was too much in this. I mean, it's almost like you could let's just read the script. We'll laugh at every single line because everything was funny here.
Mhm.
yeah. When Gallivant was telling Madalena after she saved his life, and they're sitting in her room, and he says, "I pictured us. I was going to save you and take you to a cottage, and we were going to have children and grow our own food." And she looked at him and she's like,
And
"Oh,
Allison's
yeah,
Song
that
of Your
sounds
Beauty.
awful."
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Look at me. I'm in a castle.
Right.
Why would I want to grow?
Yeah, I really like
FAT.
stuff.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Why would I want to grow FAT and have kids?
Right.
Right.
Another thing I liked in Madalena's song, I liked the visual. And it was funny because once again I enjoyed it more the second time, but when all the mirrors had her in the different dresses, if you watch them, every one of them is different. So it's not like they used, her in the green dress, it's the same in this mirror back here. There was a row of mirrors, and every single one she had done the song for each one. So that was done really well. And then even the stuff like when she first sat down and put her head down, I was watching it really carefully the second time. It was done seamlessly. I mean, it looked like the mirror came alive. It didn't, because sometimes when you see that, there's there's like a body double that you see the back of their head and they put their head down and then the actor pops up in the mirror, or there's a little glitch that you can kind of catch when the person lifts their head because they freeze the one. This was seamless. I mean, when she put her head down and the other head popped up, it looked like she was in the mirror. I mean, it was just really, really great.
Yeah,
So
that
once
was
again,
so
the effects
cool.
were really good.
Yeah.
And I was a little sketchy on it the first time when they had all the mirror things. I don't know. You know what I was thinking? I'll tell you what it was. I was thinking this show, a lot of it really lends itself to being a stage show, which it's a Disney property. Disney is thinking, how do we make this into a Broadway show and make $1 zillion? That scene, I thought, well, how would they do that? I was like distracted by that. How would they do this with the mirrors and actually make it this good? Second time viewing, I didn't care. I was just watching how good it was.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
love
now I'm thinking again how they're going to do it.
I loved the whole episode. That's why I'm saying I loved it whenever you guys talk about the episode.
Right. Well, have we covered everything?
I'm
Yeah.
looking.
I think so, yeah.
All right. So, Olivia, at the end of our episode, or because we watched it on TiVo and it was cut off at the end. We didn't see the preview for next week. Are there any big stars other than Rutger Hauer? Did it tease because last time it was teasing, Weird Al and Ricky Gervais. Is there anyone coming up that we're watching for? Or was there anything in the preview that we should take note of?
I think this is it for the guest stars. We got our big Ricky Gervais moment and the big Weird Al, which obviously we had said before that Weird Al was like the big one that everyone was waiting for.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing we're watching for now is the interaction between the two brothers.
Oh, I can't wait.
That's gonna be
I'm
so
so
good.
excited. I was freaking out when the episode ended and I was like, that can't be it. Like that cannot be it.
Yeah. Well, and it's great when you were watching it the second time, you knew that Kingsley was coming. And when it showed at the very beginning, it showed Rutger Hauer's hand. And you didn't know who it was or what it... That went by me completely the first time watching. Like, I probably took note of it in my head, but when he showed up at the end, I didn't think like, oh, that was the hand at the beginning. Watching it the second time and seeing that, I was like, oh, that's Rutger Hauer. He's going to be at the end. Yeah, really well done.
You want to know what I thought was hysterical? When you saw Kingsley on the throne, he's like, I'm going to take your life. And Dickie's like, oh, my life?
Yeah.
He's like, I mean your lifestyle.
Your lifestyle.
Not your life. No, your lifestyle.
Yeah.
But then I'm going to take your life.
Yeah.
Oh.
All
Well,
right.
it's going to be really good.
Yeah, I'm
so
excited.
that'll be the finale.
So
Yeah.
why don't we wrap it up here? You can find past episodes of this and all of our podcasts at our website, which is
www.southgatemediagroup.com.
and this is on both its own feed for Maybe Not the Worst Podcast Ever, and also on the Ever After, which is our podcast about Once Upon a Time, which we also are big fans of. We've done, how many episodes did we figure out yesterday? 94 episodes on that feed, Marth?
I think so.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, including Wonderland. Yeah.
Yeah, we did Wonderland, and we've got Gallivant in that mix too, but that's a lot of episodes on that feed. So if you like Once Upon a Time, there you go. You can really get a nice week's worth of listening out of that. And you can follow us on Twitter. We tweet this from Ever After Pod. Martha, you tweet from?
At SMG Pods.
And Olivia, what do you tweet from and what do you do?
I'm at Richards Olivia. I am one of the staff writers for showratings.tv, where you can rate and review your favorite episodes.
And we've talked about that a little bit on this episode. So
Yes.
definitely check it out and check out Olivia's reviews. They're all really fun to read. And I think that's it. Shall we end it?
Yep.
Until next week.
Gallivant.
Dun, dun, dun.
You did it again!